Hey guys, it's Justin. I'm back again with another video, ROTC tactics explanation. This one's going to be on the defense mission. A few notes I have are going to be ready to hold an objective, but that does not mean that you have to be on the objective, and you need to make sure that you have a maneuverable piece in order to provide additional fire superiority in certain areas. Alright, starting with step 1, receive and analyze the mission. 3rd Squad will conduct an area defense of objective football in the vicinity of Echo Golf 1234 5678 no later than 1500 in order to hold tactical ground. Enemy size will be 1 to 3 insurgents with small arms capabilities, reinforcements and vehicles within 5 miles. MPCOA will be return fire with small arms. MDCOA will be call for reinforcements and IDF. Your equipment available is going to be Claymore and 60mm mortar. With defense more than almost any other mission, your equipment available is going to be extremely important. Remember this for later on. Step 2, issue a warno, 5 W's. Who, 3rd Squad, what, recon, where, Echo Golf 1234 5678. When, no later than 1500, why, in order to gather intel, or defend a tactical ground. Task purpose, Alpha Team will do route planning, support by fire, aid and litter. Primary direction will be Alpha Team Leader. Primary pace man will be Alpha Team Joe. Alternate direction man will be Alpha Team Joe. Alternate pace man will be Alpha Team Joe. Bravo Team Assaulting Element, EPW Demolition. Primary EPW will be 2 Bravo Team Joes. Alternate EPW will be Bravo Team Leader and a Bravo Team Joe. Primary Demolition will be the Bravo Team Leader and Bravo Team Joe. And alternate Demolition will be the 2 Bravo Team Joes previously mentioned as primary EPW. Leaders Recon Team will be Squad Leader, Alpha Team Leader, 2 Alpha Team Joe, 1 Bravo Team Joe, for a total of 5 people. Estimated timeline, 1300 to 1310, receive mission, begin route planning, create and issue a warno. 1310 to 1320, begin rehearsals, map check, and map rehearsal with the Alpha Team Leader. 1320 to 1350, movement to the ORP, and you can shift the timeline if necessary. 1350 to 1415, Squad Leader, Alpha Team Leader, 2 Joes go on the Leaders Recon, and the Bravo Team Leader starts building the train model kit. 1415 to 1425, adjust the train model kit to Squad Leader's preference and begin briefing the finalized plan to the team leaders. Then let team leaders brief the plan to their teams as a back brief. So for rehearsals for this one, it's going to be a little bit different than the attack, recon, and other missions. It's going to be Claymore placement, call for fire, and the center element maneuverability, IMTs. So I'm going to go into a little bit of detail and explain what I mean by this, is that you need to rehearse actually placing the Claymore, because if you've never placed a Claymore before, it's a little bit of a process, and it takes a little bit of skill to know how to do. So make sure that the member of your squad that's designated with placing the Claymore knows how to do it, because you're definitely going to want to put a Claymore on a high-speed avenue of approach leading up to the objective. For call for fire, you want to have pre-planned fires. As one of the major portions of a defense mission is going to be using these pre-planned fires to cover high-speed avenues of approaches once again. And then lastly, for your center element maneuverability, if you're holding the objective on the objective, you will have people set in certain positions to cover 360 degrees, but you should have an operable piece in the middle that will be able to move to where you're taking contact in order to gain fire superiority, just in case of concentration of an enemy attack. So the people that are in the middle of the objective, that are holding the that are helping hold the objective and moving around on it, need to be using IMTs, because they can't run and stand up and move to where you're taking contact. It's very dangerous. So I would practice doing low crawls, high crawls, and buddy rushes in the case that they do have to move around. So for the optional portion of the warno, it's going to be establishing the squad SOPs, or standard operating procedures. You may want to have your challenge and password, number password, running password, and the withdrawal plan during the movement, and also any point during the mission. Black is back 200 meters, gold is forward 200 meters. Step 3, make a tentative plan. So during this tentative plan, starting with the concept of operations, is going to be the 6 phases are going to be planning, movement to ORP, recon, movement to objective, defense, and then finally withdrawal off the objective, or if you're holding the objective, staying on the objective. Movement plan will be squad call and fire team wedge. Movement to ORP step off will be 1320. Withdrawal and IDF plan will be black is back 200 meters, gold is forward 200 meters. Task and purpose. I already went over this in the warno. It has not changed. You can just say no change from the warno. Leaders recon will be the squad leader, Alpha Team Leader, 2 Alpha Team Joes, 1 Bravo Team Joe. So for the sketch, this one's going to be a little bit different than both the recon and the attack/ambush mission. You're not going to be drawing out Battle Drill 1 Alpha because you're not expecting to do Battle Drill 1 Alpha. So you should have one movement sketch and then one sketch of the objective. What you should do is position your Alpha and Bravo team surrounding the objective with the one operable/maneuverable piece in the center of the objective. Note, though, that it is not necessary to hold the objective by staying on the objective. And I say this because in missions past that I've done, the objective was in an LDA, or a complete linear danger area. It was an open valley, prime for being ambushed. So there was a wood line maybe 50 to 100 meters off the objective. The effective range of an M4 is once again 300 plus meters at least. So you can stand off of the objective in a covered wood line and hold the objective still using the same principles of defense. That's why you want to make sure that you're in a tactical position, especially because on a defensive mission, you technically should have the advantage with a set position. Once again, have a pace plan for initiating contact, and I still listed my pace plan for shifting and lifting fire because in the case that you do end up running into enemies and initiating contact with them, you want to be able to flank just in case. You probably will not on a defensive mission, but having the procedures there and the pace plans there is just standard practice. So initiating contact, pace plan will be 60mm mortar calling for fire. The alternative will be Claymore. Contingency will be the squad leader M4, and then the emergency will be a team leader's M4. And then the shift fire and ceasefire plans are the same as in the previous video, so go check them out if you haven't already. So I have special notes here for pre-planned fires and defenses. So designate at a minimum of 3 pre-planned fires by using on-call targets plotted on the map over high-speed avenues of approach or likely areas of enemy contact. That sounds like a jumble of words, but basically it just means that you want to call for fire and have it set to on-call, so when you call up cadre, you can say, fire on target number 1 now, and then they will be able to launch their IDF capabilities onto that pre-planned target. So if you see that your enemy is coming up on a target 1, 2, or 3 that you've set, where you expected them to come, you can immediately call for fire and unleash a devastating attack on them. I would also indicate on a map or terrain model where the squad leader would place a claymore. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you that's placing the claymore, but claymores are not specific to enemy movement. So if one of your team members walks in front of the claymore that you set, it will set off the claymore. So you want to make sure that everyone in your entire element knows where that claymore is, especially on a defense mission. If there's any type of maneuvering, you want to make sure that they're not taking friendly fire from the claymore that you set. Then lastly, I have designate the squad leader and a Joe to be the maneuverable piece of defense. It makes sense for the squad leader to be in the middle, but you want to have your team leaders controlling their elements on either side of the objective. You don't want to have them in the middle with you. So take a Joe from one of the teams and have them maneuver with you so you can get additional firepower wherever concentration is necessary. Step 4 is going to be initiating necessary movement rehearsals. So as I said before, the necessary rehearsals are going to be claymore placement, call for fire practice, map rehearsal with the alpha team leader, and anything else the squad leader feels is necessary. This should occur simultaneously with step 3 if possible. Step 5 is going to be conduct recon. 5-point contingency plan anytime you leave behind a member of your element in the form of a GOTWA. Once again, I explained that twice in the past 2 videos, so go check it out if you need an explanation for that. While squad leader is on recon, the Bravo team leader consolidates rucks, Bravo team leader starts making the train model kit, and they can also start copying over the tentative plan to save time later on in the mission. You can use the cloverleaf technique to recon the objective when you do recon it, and make sure you set up in covering 360 degrees of the objective. You do not have to be on the objective. Completing the plan, once you get back from the leader's recon, if you've envisioned where you're going to put your people, then you can actually create or adjust the train model kit that the Bravo team leader built. And then finally, briefing the finalized plan will be brief your team leader, have your team leader brief your teams, and then you're ready for supervising and refining the actual execution of the mission. So these are the notes that I left for the actual actions on objective when you start making contact. Move out of the ORP to objective after confirming ruck security plan. Spread squad out around objective or near the objective so that the objective is covered. Make sure that if the objective is in an open area, that you move to an area with a positional advantage with a clear visual of the objective. Center yourself in the middle of your element with the other person so that you can act as a maneuvering piece. Have team leaders make sure that all sectors of fire are overlapping and you have 360 degrees security. So when team leaders check sectors of fire at the ORP, just have them do the same thing on the objective. Make sure that the sectors of fire are overlapping so all 360 degrees are covered. Then set claymores. When you take contact, move yourself and the person in the middle with you to where you're taking contact in order to concentrate firepower. The other people in the circular position around the objective should not move. You should not turn around and fire at any point that's asking for friendly fire. Continue to defend the objective until the enemy attacks stop, and then EPW, aid and litter, demo as necessary, but depending on the mission, you might not need to do it. So that's all I got for defense missions. If you haven't checked out my other videos on the squad tactics missions, this will probably be the last one. I did add a little bit of cumulative knowledge on each one, so I would recommend that you check out all of them when you have the time if you're preparing for an FTX or a lab. Moving forward from that though, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see future content. I try to respond to any comments as quickly as possible, and so if you have any questions about the tactics themselves or you disagree with something, feel free to pick my brain and I will try to respond to you best of my ability. If you'd like to see a certain type of video in the future, let me know and I'll try to make it, and that's all I have for you. So thanks guys.